Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, this is further on our relationship series in which we try to cast some light onto how you might find life when you get here in the Philippines and how different it may be, and how much. Well, on part 1 and part 2, this is part 3, this is part 2 to do with expressions and body language, which you wouldn't think that could change so much, but it does, and it changes. In fact, it changes whatever country you're in. Americans are not the same as the Brits are not the same as the Aussies, certainly not. No three of them, no one of that three are the same as French or Italians or German. We all have our own kind of expressions, and that's what I was hoping to deal with here. And the expressions and body language. So there's all kinds of expressions which we think we've got tied down with or pinned down with logic. Well, if you ask a question which says, we're not going there this morning, are we? Well, the answer would be no, wouldn't it? Of course it would. We're logical, we know that it would be. If you say to a Filipina, we're not going there, are we? She'll say yes. So you say, okay, well, where are we going to go? Well, we're going there. But you said yeah. When I said we're not going there, you said yes. And she'll say yes. Well, does that mean we're not going there? Yes. Well, why didn't you say no? Well, because I said yes. But why did you say yes when it should have been no? Well, it should have been yes. No. Yes. Really? No. So, is it yes, we're not going there, or yes, we are? Yes. What, we're going? No. You think I'm exaggerating? I'm thinking that anybody that's already married and happily to a Filipina is already going, yes, and they don't mean no, okay? But so there's yes and no. That is an absolute minefield of misunderstandings. So, and you have to get used to that. See? Now, the other thing is that Westerners are all about big movements. I mean, there's all the stereotypical jokes out there about if you go to, say, Italy. You go to Italy and you ask somebody for directions, and they'll go, and it's all hands. And not only is it hands, but if somebody else has heard your question as they're passing, they're so good-natured that they stop and they say, no, they're this way. I'm not going to try to do the what's the matter for you accent on the Italians, okay? No, that way. And then the other one will go, no, this way. And then a third one will stop in and say, no, what about this? See, and after a while, you'll give up and you'll walk away and leave them arguing about it. It's different, and it's different here. So when you want to know something, and I've spoken to several expats who all smile when they say this, and if you ask where is the so-and-so store, and it's always that, straight, and you keep going straight, and it never quite works out. Now, what you're finding is a cultural thing of they don't want to say they don't know. it's just too difficult to say, I don't know, or they're embarrassed. Now, embarrassment is an expression of feeling and emotion which is very difficult for a really upfront, outgoing Westerner to get. Like if, the average American speaks louder than the average Brit. And I guess somewhere in the middle is the Aussies. Not quite sure where the Germans or the French or the Italians are, but they'll be quieter. So this one's quiet, this one's loud. If you go into a restaurant and in the US, go into a restaurant, you can hardly hear yourself think. You can listen in, you can focus your attention and your hearing, and you can learn all about the lives of the people on the next table. Because Americans naturally speak louder. Now, I've often said this, that when I've been on a visit to America, a long time ago, I would have been coming back from a visit to America, and I'd get on the underground, on the subway, tube. And it might be rush hour, where everybody's packed up like this, and you can't hear anybody talking. You'll see somebody and he'll have a carefully folded newspaper so that he can read it, and if he's even a few feet away, you can hear the leaves, you can hear the pages of the newspaper rustling, even with all of these people. If you get into Hong Kong, you get on the train in Hong Kong, there's not going to be many people talking there either, because they're all like this. When we went to Hong Kong, I looked around, and 15 of the people that were in my immediate view were all talking or looking at a cell phone. So things are different. Now, what kind of body language are you going to get? Well, if you're in the West and you see a friend, you say, "Hey, get over here, come," and you do this. Why would you do that? Because it's logical, isn't it? You say, "Come here." It's logical. No, it's not. If you're in the Philippines and you see someone and you want them to come, you do the upside down wave, you say. And if you really urgent, you go the upside down wave. Now, when you start to see how over the top, comparatively speaking, we're not talking right and wrong now, we're just talking differences. But an American, when we've had, it always makes me smile, because when we have an American who comes to stay and visit, it just seems that without exception, they're all very good-natured, and they're all very good at interacting with people. But compared to the Filipinos, they're loud. And I would be going along, I'm thinking one of our favorite visitors, and we would be going along in the truck, and he would be sitting next to me like this, and if he saw somebody pass, he would go like a huge wave, like huge, look at me, my arm is fully extended, "Hi, good morning," yeah. And the Filipinos don't do that. If I am passing a Filipino, for instance, when we are driving down to the road, we'll be going along on our dirt path, and there'll be a man, a farmer on his carabao, pulling his bamboo sled, and he would have pulled off to the side. He knows better than to not give way to a truck because he has a, let me say, quite volatile animal there in a carabao. They are very placid and they can be very unpredictable. So he pulls off to the side and I slow right down and I pass calmly so that it doesn't suddenly startle the animal. This is also common sense, isn't it? But if I used to see that, I would do exactly what I've said my friend did. I would go, hi. Big smile, hi, like that. And actually say hi. The farmer would look at me and he would go, that's it. Did you miss that? I'll do it again. Sometimes not even that. It can be so subtle. You might miss it. You go along there and you're thinking, oh, gosh darn it, I gave him a great big wave with my arm fully extended and a big smile and a hi. And what did he do? See, you're not used to adjusting the sensitivity level on your receptors so that they can get as good morning. You're saying, good morning, hey, how's it going? He goes, can easily miss it. And the other one is, when you've done something and there's a Filipino there, he doesn't understand. That's almost like saying, what? Very often, with children, if we're passing, especially when we go to church, and there's loads of kids and they're all outside when the truck pulls up, and they look at me, and they still haven't really gotten over the idea that a foreigner comes to their church. So they're looking, and they may go, now, if I look at them and go, and then they go, and I go, so this is, it's almost like this is what? Now this would be really, and this would be, what the heck? That might even be as high as, oh no, really? You're kidding me. See, things are different. But a little kid will have the subtle, little, tiny expression. Would you like a candy? You don't want a candy? So, do you want a candy or not? See? Now the other thing is that just supposing, in our case, we often give someone a ride and they'll ride happily in the back of the truck. And there are seats in the back of the truck. So we'll give them a ride. Now, if I stop along the way at the sari store and I get water for Beth and I don't ask, do they want water? Because they'll say no. Even if they were lying flaked out, done to a crisp, and actually dying of water deprivation, they would still say no. So I go and I get a bottle of water for me, a bottle of water for Beth, and a bottle of water for however many are in the back of the truck. And they'll say, Salamat. Or they might even just say, see, it just depends. So you soon find out what it is like trying to view the different body language. Now, a long time ago, when I was married to a Filipina many years ago, and I had a stepson, Paul. I was the only dad he ever knew. And when he came over from the Philippines when he was, I think, 5 years old. So he had all of the full set of expressions. He would do it was the whole thing. Now, he would never point at something. He wouldn't point, say, to the candy or the cookie. So it might be on the table. He wouldn't point to it. He would go like this. Now, he'd do it very subtly at first. Okay, so here's the first one. That means, can I have that candy over there? Can I have that cookie? Then if you don't get that, here's the next one. Can I? You didn't see it? Can I have a cookie? If you don't get that one, here's the next one. Now, if I wanted to tease him, this is what I would do. Let's say this is the tabletop, okay? I'm holding up a tablet. Let's say this is the tabletop, and here's the cookie. So there's the cookie on the tabletop. He would say, I'd say, what? What do you want? Paul, what do you want? What? I don't understand. In the end, you would be down on his knees going, before he would say, can I have the cookie? Now obviously an adult is not going to do that, but they are going to be a lot more subtle than you think. So you don't have to go, hi. You can just look over at the man, eye to eye contact, and go, and that's good enough. Right, now, what happens if someone is embarrassed? Say, for instance, a child, and they're, or actually I've found this even with adults as well. They don't want to say no. So you ask them, so would it be okay for me to do that? Okay, so you're still not sure. So can I do that? Now you're sure it's okay? That's the other thing. Is now we're into the upside down nod. See, in the West, if you nod your head, you look over at someone and you want to acknowledge them and you're being very subtle and sophisticated, you would go. See, I've been here so long now, it's even difficult for me to do the down nod. So you go, yes, I see you. Here, it's for everything. The upside down nod. Linked in with the eyebrows. Now, I passed a little boy today when we started. I was coming back from Taliban and I'm going up the path, and I've just started up the path and I'm passing a little construction site which is going on in the first 100 feet or so, and there's a little boy who always comes with us to church, but every time he sees me he says, Colonel. So I stopped this morning and I had some candy. Yeah, I know, I should be thinking of his teeth, but I didn't. I was thinking of his childhood. And I look in my bag and I stop next to him. And he knows exactly what's coming. He looks at me like this, and I reach in and I grab a handful of candy and I hand it out to him. And he just doesn't say, "Thank you, sir. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I love these sweets." No, he goes, and that's a thank you. Okay? So, get ready for being more subtle. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand or not? Yes. Good luck. We'll be doing more, I'm guessing. Okay? Or not. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.